A new set of polls indicates that Joe Biden is definitely leading, and by a wider margin than was previously reported in previous polls. So there are two polls we're going to look at. The first looks at the how the two candidates are doing on nationally. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying that, but let me give you those numbers. Now, this poll was done by CNN, and it found that among likely voters, Biden holds a whopping 16-point average with 57% support to Trump's 41%, and Trump did not fare any better among registered voters, although Biden's support ticked down to 56% in that sample. Now, Trump did hold a slim lead over Biden with men, so 49 to Biden's 47%. Among women, though, Biden more than doubled Trump's support with 66% to only 32% for Trump. Biden also leads Trump by 4 points among white voters, but nearly tripled Trump's support among voters of color at 72% to Trump's 25%. And there's also a breakdown on the issue. So Cenk, let me give that to you before you go off. So coronavirus outbreak, of course, people believe that Biden would do a better job than Trump, 59% to Trump's 38%. Healthcare, Biden leads in that regard as well, 59% to 59% to Trump's 39%. Racial inequality, obviously, people like Biden better with 62% to Trump's 36%. Even with Supreme Court nominations, the majority of Americans prefer Biden, 57% to Trump's 41%. Crime and safety, Biden won in that regard as well, 55% to Trump's 43%. And even with the economy, where Trump, historically has done better, in this case, Biden performed well with 50% versus Trump's 48%. Cenk.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Na. It was definitely not nice knowing you're Donald Trump. All right, let me break down why these numbers are game, set, and match. If they were by themselves, you say, okay, look, maybe it's an outlier. I mean, it's Biden as an outrageous 16-point lead. But there was another poll done by two other media organizations, Wall Street Journal, which is conservative, and NBC News just a couple of days ago, and that was a 14-point lead. It's not an outlier. And so now when you get into the numbers further, as Anna just showed you based on policies, et cetera, it's a bloodbath. The coronavirus is the #1 issue in the country. Biden leads by over 20 points. This is not around the edges like, oh, he's got a 4-point lead. I wonder if he could hold it. You could hold a 21-point lead on an issue like that with a month left in the election. Then I remember in 2016, I'd get so frustrated, and I thought it was so biased to the media against Trump when they would say, oh, Hillary Clinton has a big lead among women. I'd be like, yeah, but Donald Trump has a big lead among men. So, but they never pointed that out. And I think it was part of their bias, and they just couldn't see straight. And that's why we told you in 2016, no, Trump has a significant chance of winning. So now this time around, Trump holds a 2-point lead among men. It's basically tied, that's nothing, right? Among women, Biden is doubling him, more than double, 66 to 32. Oh, that's unrecoverable. That's not even, it's not within planets of close. No, look, Biden's taking the lead with white voters. He has a monstrous lead. He's like got a 3-to-1 advantage over Trump with non-white voters. Everybody knows that, and this is the same mistake they'd make in 2016. Oh, Hillary Clinton was winning big with non-white voters. She didn't win this big, by the way, with non-white voters. And then they leave out, yeah, but Trump's winning white voters comfortably. He's not anymore, he's losing white voters. And I can go on all day long, but one last one, senior citizens. It's a base for the Republicans. That's their strength. It's a strength for Trump, not anymore. Every poll has Trump losing senior citizens by over 20 points. There is no way in the world that's recoverable. So it's not a thing where math doesn't exist anymore. Everybody's so shell-shocked and scared from 2016. Oh my God, what if 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4 anymore? No, it equals 4. He's gonna get obliterated. And so this is landslide.
But Cenk, okay, look, the thing that drives me crazy is that if it comes to the popular vote, yes, Biden is gonna beat Trump. There's no question about it, but he's still not leading by much in swing states. Okay, so there was another poll done, that's the second poll I wanted to talk about, that looks specifically at swing states. And even with all the disastrous things that have happened recently, the disastrous debate performance by Donald Trump, the fact that Donald Trump is so incompetent, he can't even keep his own White House safe from the coronavirus. Those issues didn't in any way impact what the swing states are polling at. So let me give you those details. Arizona, for instance, yes, Biden has a significant lead there, but again, this lead hasn't changed based on current events. Biden has 51% and Trump has 45%. Florida, Biden has 50%, Trump has 46%. So 1% change in Biden's direction in the more recent poll. In Michigan, Biden's at 51%, Trump is at 43%. North Carolina, Biden 49%, Trump at 47%. Pennsylvania, Biden 50%, Trump at 46%. And Wisconsin, Biden at 51%, Trump at 44%. Some of these swing states, it's definitely within the margin of error. I'm definitely concerned with all of the voter suppression actions being taken by state Republican parties, and even the Trump campaign suing various states that have tried to make it easier for people to vote by mail during the pandemic. Some of those cases have made their way to the Supreme Court, and unfortunately, the overwhelmingly conservative Supreme Court has sided with Trump's campaign. So you have voters being disenfranchised. You have the fact that the Electoral College still is a thing. It's not, it didn't magically disappear. And then on top of that, you have these poll results from these swing states indicating that they're much closer than what makes me comfortable, at least. That's why I'm kind of shocked that you're willing to 1 month out call this election. I just think that there's still too much time, and I think there's still too many factors that you're not considering by making this call.
I totally disagree. So in the swing states, Anna, we're moving the goalpost here. And by the way, that point of view is accidentally helping Trump. So first of all, what swing states are we talking about? Donald Trump has to win Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, and Florida, and Ohio. He's not winning any of them. Biden's lead in Pennsylvania is now double digits. That's not a swing state, that's a landslide. And so Trump's got to win them all. And now we're nitpicking about whether Biden's lead in North Carolina is large enough. North Carolina, why don't we win Alabama while we're at it? Okay, I mean, we're talking about Biden's lead in Arizona, Iowa, and North Carolina. Now there's talk that he's within striking distance in Georgia and Texas. There's no conversation where we're having a talk about how Texas might go to Biden and Biden has a chance of losing. That's not a thing. That's like, oh, California might go to Trump, but maybe Biden pulls it out. No, Biden does. In that scenario, Biden would have a 0% chance of pulling it out. And right now, that's close to where Trump sits. So I know they're gonna cheat 1,000 times around the edges, but these numbers are too large. You can't, we're waiting, I can't describe to you how improbable it is for a Republican to win the presidency if they're losing Arizona, Iowa, and North Carolina a month before the election. We're deep into their territory. So no, he's a goner. Look, there's many other factors which I'll talk about next, but on the polling alone, you literally cannot ask for better numbers. It would be outrageous and outlandish to ask for better numbers. I mean, if going into the election, like a year ago, if you told me, hey, Biden's gonna be the nominee, I'd have been like, well, are we sure we're gonna be okay, right? Then, if you said to me, hey, a month before the election, he'll have a 16-point lead, I'm like, I'll take it, right? Like, what do I want, a 17-point lead? If you told me, oh, he's got a lead in North Carolina, Arizona, and Iowa, I might have voted for him in the primaries. Okay, I mean, I wouldn't because Bernie would have just as big a lead. It's because it isn't about Bernie or Biden, it's that Trump keeps self-immolating. And so these are not recoverable numbers. The laws of physics apply, and so does math.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.